Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another fabulous episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye Spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, especially today, Taco Tuesday, he asks for a chief burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. No, you see, we have a special guest in the house tonight. He's not just any ordinary man. No, he is the guide to the promised land. You can call him the African God. You can call him the Afrikan Bulldozer. But one thing you must remember is that he goes by the name of Tiberius Assante.
Woo!
How you doing tonight? How you doing tonight, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed, Can't really complain tonight.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear, man. I could tell you, man, you're a very powerful man in that ring, man. Oh, geez. It's not even that you're strong, but you're quick too, man. Like, damn, like I wouldn't know what game plan I'd have against you if I was your opponent, man. Then again, if I was your opponent, I'd probably just forfeit the match and go home, man. Like, look, I ain't got time for this. I got a date tonight. He could take the win, man. I'm done.
Yeah, man. I get all that, man. I learned that from the man himself, actually from the brothers and the Briscoes, you know.
Yeah, man. R.I.P. Jay Briscoe, man. I'll tell you one thing, man. I felt many, and I'm sorry for y'all's loss. I know that he was they were your trainers. Jay was one of your trainers, and Jay was a huge staple in Delaware. Um, and I've seen a lot of wrestlers like come and go. They've passed away and whatnot, but Jay Briscoe, man. I mean, I feel that one, man. Like it's just sad how it ended, But best thing we can do is just keep his memory alive and you know and whatnot, and that's by just keep churning out, just keep reminding people for generations to come of the greatness that he gave to professional wrestling, and whether it was part of the Briscoes or just on his own, just let his memory live on by letting people know how he gave 100% in the ring and left it all, and fans always went home satisfied.
Definitely. He's done so much you can never forget that name. His name will always go on. That name, like he's done so much in such a short amount of time. Crazy when you think about it.
The only thing I'm sorry that never happened was that some booker, and Rob, maybe Tiberius, maybe you've seen it, maybe you know of it, but it wasn't known. Rob, maybe you've seen it somewhere in Delaware. But the one thing I'm sorry that a booker never did, and I was looking forward to it, hopefully, was to have Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe team up with the other Briscoe, Wes Briscoe, who's the son of Jay, of not Jay, Mark, and he's the son of Gerald Briscoe and the nephew of Jack Briscoe, former NWA champion. They're also tag team champions in their own right. That would have been nice to actually see just for one night. That would have been just crazy to see, just happen. So I gotta ask you, man. So how did you I always ask this question to most of our fans. How did you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Ooh, man, look, I started watching wrestling. Man, I can't remember years, but I tell you what, I was watching it prior to the actual time where I was like conscious enough to be like, I'm gonna watch this every week. My great grandfather would always tune in to like main events and stuff like that, and would like rarely can like kind of remember seeing Hulk Hogan and stuff. I think it's most of the colors. And then I would say like during the Attitude Era when Kane and the Undertaker, mostly when Kane debuted, that's when I really got into it because I used to watch my pop and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I was glued to the TV from then.
Yeah, that Stone Cold was one of a kind, man. Like I got a question. So, have you ever seen? Did you ever look at Stone Cold's matches before he was Stone Cold, like before WWE?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. See, like I said, I don't know. Like once I got into it, I got into it. So I started studying. So I remember when the Hollywood Blondes, and when he was the Brian Bryan at the time, and those matches were even crazier to me because he was like more. He could do so much more because he didn't have an injury.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it crazy how he actually like went from being a pretty boy, saying he's from Hollywood and repping Hollywood and whatnot, to now he's like this beer drinking country guy. He's shooting arrows at pictures of Owen
Yeah,
Hart. Owen Hart messed up his neck. Um, R.I.P. Owen Hart, by the way, another great guy that we lost too soon. And then he's drinking beer and he's dousing the whole corporation with a beer truck. Like isn't it crazy how he went from how he changed personalities just like that?
it is crazy. And what was it? He said he watched a documentary on somebody that man, it's crazy. It is crazy how you put it that way because how you go from that Hollywood blonde to this killer instinct kind of guy. Like those eyes are like crazy enough to kill.
Yeah, it's very amazing to see how he made that transition. But hey, it worked for him. The man's a legend now, man. Like,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
although I always said that even as the stunning Steve Austin, he would have been good for WCW, but just that, you know, I guess, when with Hulk Hogan coming in and so on, they didn't have anything for him, or they just couldn't find, because I think Hulk Hogan came in around 94 and he was there for like, and then you had Randy Savage that came in, and then Stone Cold was there for like roughly like a year until he was let go.
Too many stars, man. Too many stars.
Yeah. But I always thought that, even that stunning Steve Austin, he could have gone far. Like he could have been the world champion there. But hey, WWE worked for him, and he did his thing, and now he's a legend.
Right.
Yeah. So, did you ever get to meet him in person, or you still haven't
It was
gotten to
Stone
meet him yet?
Cold. Nah, I never got to rub shoulders with him yet. Which that would be awesome. That would be awesome. But nah, I never got to. That would be cool. That would be
Oh yeah.
cool.
So, now that you're tuning in every week and you're watching your favorites, and you know I take it you bought the merch and everything too. Um, how did you go from Tiberius Assante, the wrestling fan? How did your odyssey go from wrestling fan to now the African God, the African bulldozer, the man, the lead, the guy to the promised land? How'd you go from wrestling fan to wrestler?
Man, it was something about like it was like, man, I want to do this, but it was like I didn't know how to do it, like how to actually get involved. And I think like I said, it was that Kane uh, character that got me. And I was already like a horror fan, so Jason, and then I see Kane, I'm like, that's awesome. I want to be something like that. Of course, that never happened, but it just I moved to Delaware, and then I just got randomly talking with this guy, and he was like, "My friend has a wrestling ring." I'm like, "Man, you got to be kidding me!" He thought he was just pulling my leg, and I'm like, "All right." So I met him with him after school, goes to and there's a wrestling ring. So I was just like, "This has got to be a sign." So, and then I just started, of course, backyard. And that's how that started for real. Like the love was already there. It was just I needed the place in the position.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. That you saw the sign, and you decided to take that step and whatnot. Not many fans actually have the guts to actually do what y'all do, and that is to actually. And I swear, Rob, I don't know, maybe you have maybe your creative juices are flowing, mine are, but I gotta find a nice little catchphrase for when a fan um for when a fan goes from fan to wrestler. I normally say jump the guardrail, but that sounds too negative, because we all know when a fan jumps that guardrail, what happened, and it's not pretty.
Lord,
So
don't jump the guardrail.
yeah, fans. do not jump that guardrail, because if you see, um, let's say Tiberius and his opponent or anybody else, you know, in that ring, and you decide, oh, I'm going to help Tiberius beat up this person, or I'm going to help this person beat up Tiberius, or whatnot, or you're just going to protect Rob Basin, guess what? It's going to become probably become a 3-on-1 situation, because now you're going to have Tiberius and his opponent jumping you, and then you got Rob Base, who don't play either. He's probably going to jump you too. So please, stay in the ring. I keep telling you, fans, I'm not some of you, not a lot of you, you know your place and you know your role, and that's great. You'll go very far. But for some of you that get a little spicy, don't do it. I'm telling you, it's not going to end well. And they're not going to pay your medical bills either. I'm sorry, so, but yeah, I digress, man. But, yeah, but that's kudos to you on doing that. That's great. And it's working out pretty well, man. I mean, I see you in the ring, you throw around guys like rag dolls, like nothing and whatnot. Man, it's very impressive.
That's the strength of the ancestors right there, man. I can't take credit for that alone.
Okay. That's cool. That's so um you say okay, African Bulldozer. Yeah, I could definitely tell. You knocked them down. Obviously, trust me, you have no problem knocking them down. African God, you have a presence, but the name you have the moniker also of the guide to the promised land. So how'd you come about with that?
Man, I got that from. I remember hearing. Okay, so there's a underground hip hop group called Jedi Monster. And there's a song called Death March, and they took a snippet from one of Undertaker's promos, and he was like, "Allow me to guide you." And I was just like, "Yo, how come no one's picked this up with the 'Allow me to guide you'?" So I kind of put that together. And then I was like, "What can I guide you? Promised land, like the promised land. We'll all get to the promised land, but of course, there's going to be some bumps along the way. Allow me to guide you, So that's how I came up with that, and I've just been running with that, and it feels comfortable to me, so I'm running with it.
Yes, it's definitely working, man. Like it's that, and with some certain monikers, they may not the crowd may not catch on overnight, but eventually they do. I always say that they do, and yeah, that's a very neat moniker you have, the guide to the promised land. That's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
So
I think enough repetition. You saying enough, it's going to stick to someone's brain.
yeah, so you've wrestled a lot for 1CW, um, and you've done your thing in Delaware. But have you gotten the chance to wrestle like anywhere else in the country, or have you been able to wrestle
Oh
either?
yeah. I just came from Jersey, actually. I just came from Jim Pro Wrestling Live this past Saturday, which was in Lakewood, New Jersey. Which was my first time wrestling in New Jersey, which was pretty awesome. And I actually got something coming up in Chatham, Virginia for Pure Pro Wrestling. So I do get around on the eastern side as far as like Virginia, Jersey. Trying to get into New York. I think I got something coming up. Still waiting on the definite okay on that. And yeah, man, I plan on if I can make the trip, I'll do it.
Well,
So,
I was gonna say, if you're trying to get to New York, we got something called Black Wrestler Fest 2 coming up. We had the first one last year. We had another one coming up this year, celebrating Black culture in professional wrestling. And I went to the first one, and it was well done, very put together. And I personally enjoyed myself there, and it taught me a lot um, about what the Black community has contributed towards like professional wrestling and so on. We had discussions about gear making. We had actually had a woman by the name of Yolanda Jernigan. I don't know if you ever heard of her or seen her on the internet, but this woman, believe it or not, um, has actually designed gear for several popular wrestlers. She's designed gear for Cesaro. She's done stuff for Sheamus. She's done stuff for a lot of people, a lot of popular wrestlers today. And she was talking about her experience And we had another guy from Canada who actually talked about it too. And we also had another people talk about how wrestlers are wearing sneakers in professional wrestling. And there was one guy that knew pretty much every type of sneaker that a wrestler was wearing. Um, like what John was the type of sneakers John Cena would wear. We even had the old school tag team, the Killer Bees. They were the first tag team to start wearing sneakers in the wrestling ring to wrestle. So yeah, it was a very well put together event. I would recommend anybody, regardless of ethnicity, just to check it out, just see how it is, to show that there's more to it than meets the eye in regards to the black community being in professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, you got to shoot with the info for that one because that's something up the alley right there.
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely do that, man. I'll definitely do that. They're actually they're also on Instagram and they're on Twitter. So, but I'll definitely shoot you the information for that. It's a very great thing that they've been doing. But I'll tell you this: if you haven't gotten to wrestling in New York before, it's a whole different vibe, but it's a good one, and you'll definitely want to do it again.
Uh, yeah, I need that in my life.
Yeah. So now that you're doing your thing as a professional wrestler, you're kicking a lot of ass and you're taking names. Who are your top five that you'd want to wrestle in the near future? They can be from anywhere. They can be from um, WB, AEW, Impact, the Indies. It doesn't matter.
So I crossed one off actually on my list, and that was Big F and Vin. That was pretty. That was actually this past Saturday in a scramble match. That was pretty cool.
Mhm.
Jacob Fatu. I always wanted to do teacher versus student. Unfortunately, um, we lost my man Jay, but Mark is still there, so I definitely want to get that on there. Um, I did have Matthew Justice on that list just because that's another big guy as far as height. So definitely wouldn't mind knocking arms with that. And then Calvin Tankman was also on my list as well.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, I definitely hope that you get to wrestle all those people, and you get to, um, meet all your goals and so on. I could definitely see great things happening for you, man. If the way you're going, trust me, I could definitely see, a lot. I'll tell you one thing. Have you gotten to be on AEW yet?
No, not yet. I haven't even like inquired about it. I still wanted to keep not making some noise before I started getting my resume up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. When I see you on there, man, we've had it happen before. We just had it happen with one of our alumni guests that appeared on there. When I see that happen, I'm like, yeah, the brother's on there. He's doing his thing, man. Congrats and so on. Um, yeah, man. I'm definitely hoping you get that chance.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that love.
Yeah. So, um, I just got two more questions. Um, and I don't normally ask this one, but and Rob, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable because you're like my brother from another mother, Rob. Don't feel no way or whatnot. And I'm not trying to offend
Oh,
anybody, but I gotta ask you, man. As a black man, being in professional wrestling, if I would decide to get into it, is there anything negative or positive that I, as a black man, would have to look at? Because I'm Guyanese. I'm not even from America. I'm Guyanese. I'm from South America. So, you know, um, but would there be anything like any difficulties you would say, um, like any pros
I
and
would
cons?
I would say you already know how it is, like as far as being black. Like there's always gonna be that, you know, look that you're gonna get. Granted, it is 2023 and a lot of locker rooms, and I have been blessed to be in some locker rooms where I haven't have to deal with any racism or any of that stuff. You know what I mean? But I have heard stories, and unfortunately, it does exist. But like I said, us being black, we already looked at in a certain way, even if it's not intentional. It's just how it's subconscious programmed. I don't want to get into that, but I'd say you're always under a microscope. But it's not as bad like as it has been in the past. The positives is everyone is like, because it's so diverse now, that it's like so like I said, the locker rooms that I've been in I've been blessed. It's been nothing but camaraderie, brotherhood, love. We treat each other like family, you know. Especially 1CW, I love that locker room. ESPW, I love that locker room. Like every place I've been to, it's been nothing but good stuff. But there's always the negative, you know. There's always a small negative. You'll hear something. It might not happen to you, but you'll hear something. You know? But
Yeah,
I wouldn't go off of that. I would go off your own experience. Like, don't be afraid of stuff like that.
yeah. Because I mean, I look at the history of what we've been through from the time, not what we, but because I mean, I'm not a wrestler, but from what the black wrestlers of yesteryear have gone through, where the first ones they couldn't even pin a non-black competitor, and then of course you had the time where you're black, you're either really mean and you're gangster and whatnot, or you're always dancing and everything's a party, and it's like there's not really any medium, you know. And I was kind of like, well, damn, man, like we're not a monolith. I mean, there are many parts to, there's more to the black community than that. And now I see that. And then, I had that Crime Time, and Crime Time was like, oh, geez. This is no disrespect to Shad Gaspar, but I was like, they really got to put us in that light. Like, like now everybody,
It was that whole dance monkey dance. I was like, God, here we go.
yeah. And then you had the prime time players, which was kind of the same thing. But then you had the New Day, and I was like, oh, geez, no, here we go again. I wrote them off, or I was like, give them a year, and it's going to be over. But they have actually surpassed a lot of expectations, and I'm so happy for those three guys. I thought they were going to be like Crime Time, but in tights, or the prime time players, but just there's an extra guy. But and like I said, people, for those y'all listening and watching, I have none against, JTG and Shad Gaspard. It's just a gimmick, you know. And I was like, oh geez, New Day's here, New Day's here. But then when I saw like how far they've come, I'm like, how far they went from, their debut up to now. I'm like, yeah, they've definitely set, the bar. And I'm very happy for them too, because now, especially with them even going forward and not being and like winning, like two of them becoming world champions, that's an inspiration right there. So yeah, I'm very happy for them, breaking the mold and so on.
Yeah, definitely gave like the little black boys and little black girls something to be like, yo, they're not okay. We can be something different instead of like some dancing person or rapping, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but if I was in wrestling back then, I probably would have gotten fired, because one, I could do a good two-step. I'm too old to be dancing all them, doing all the break dancing and rapping. Nah, I can't rap. Rob could probably rap better than me. Now maybe some R&B song. I could probably sing some R&B, but the rap part, nah, it's not happening, man. Like nah. Like I'm good. I'm good. All right. And speaking of rap, man, I'm, and speaking of rap, man, I heard you got bars, man. I heard you're an artist, man. So tell us, man, like who's your musical inspiration, man?
Whew. Inspiration, man. When I started rapping, it was definitely, like I said, the underground group Get Out My Interest. Just like I said, I started getting into the whole awakening, and so I wanted to make music about it, and they were like the biggest examples. I was like, oh snap, you can say that on the record? Oh snap! Like it was crazy. So I was just like, yeah, Vinny Paz, shout out to them, Jedi Mantra, Just a Law, Q Unique, Ill Bill, all of them, shout out to them.
Awesome. Yeah, I grew up with Notorious B.I.G. and
Um,
Mason Cameron, the whole Harlem World movement and thing, and Big L, and
yes, sir.
yeah, that's who I grew up. That's why. I mean, today's hip hop is obviously different. I'm not knocking it. I mean, I enjoy listening to stuff from like Migos. and and so on. But and even Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion got a nice little flow too. But my start, I grew up with like the gritty East Coast, hip hop, like and some of the West Coast too. Yeah, like,
Where was that, man? That grit, you can't reinvent that.
oh yeah, yeah, but they still got some. I'll tell you what. I don't know if you're a fan of ciphers, but we got a thing up here called. If you're ever in New York, there's a group called Legendary Cipher. They're on 14th Street at 14th Street Union Square. They're on Instagram as well too. But some of the stuff these guys come up with, I'm like, wow, like, jeez, it's crazy. Like, I'd recommend anybody seeing the hip hop check them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. I know Rob has a couple of questions for you. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on, Tiberius, man? How you doing today?
What's going on, Rob? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. I can't call it, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. I was excited all day, man, to have you on the show, man. I was like, yeah, get my boy Tiberius on here, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, buddy. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Like you were saying earlier, man. Talking about traveling and stuff. Have you have you got any prospects on a van yet? Because I know you're trying, might be looking into getting a van, somewhere, maybe sleeping, or whatever, so you can get the point A,
Yeah,
point B.
yeah. I'm trying to get a van, bro, because like I can do the drives, man, but sometimes I just want to be like, yo, I'm gonna pull over, take a nap real quick,
Hmm.
recharge. 'Cause Lord knows, boy, I've had some moments.
That's right. Yeah, man. Yeah, you can get one of them like old school A-team vans or something, man. Just build like, yeah, I'm just gonna build like a little wooden box in the back, just throw a mattress on there or something. I'll sleep on that, man. I'll be good to go.
That
That's right. So, do you have any shows coming up, man? I know you got ESPW the 25th, 1CW the March 11th. Do you have anything in between there? And are you booked up pretty much, to the summer or whatever like that?
right now, like this Saturday, I got Pure Pro Wrestling. That's ran by Jimmy Love. That's this Saturday, the 28th. I'm looking at something on the 4th that's not concrete yet. I gotta get up with Everest. Um, the 11th, that's the one where I said that New York thing, where I'm not sure if that's concrete or not. And then I also have the Atlantic All Star. That's on the 25th of February. And then I gotta look at the March dates. I know I got some stuff in March. Of course, ESPW, 1CW. 1CW comes back, and of course ESPW comes back. And then yeah, it's just I'm I'm getting booking after booking after booking. There's no complaints on that end. I'm loving it. Like I said, this is gonna be the year of Asante.
That's right, man. It's like Remy's been telling everybody, it's the Jordan year. You know what I mean? 23, man. Everybody gonna kill it this year.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So when you were training and coming up, man, you were training with the great, Jay Briscoe and stuff, man. And whenever I do this show and we have wrestlers come on, they hear I'm from Delaware, man. They always ask, I'll come on. They be like, "Oh man, how far do you live from the Briscoes? And do they really have a farm and stuff?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, they down, like 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes up the road, man. They got a farm." Like, "Oh, for real, dude?" They start asking me about them. So, man, do you have any cool like Briscoe stories, man? Something, maybe some wisdom they've imparted on you or anything that you could share?
Man, Jay is all right. So when I would train with them, like, and it'd be so random because they'd be on the road, and then when they get home and stuff, they'd be like, "Hey, you want to toss around for a little bit?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, sure." I didn't care what I was doing, drop everything and go. The coolest moment I gotta say, besides like this is more like on the wrestling side. The coolest moment I gotta say is when Mark at the time was working on that character, the chicken or whatever, and he was like he wanted to practice his boot, the tiki boot. And I thought it was so cool because they ended up using it on the show that week. And I was like, he was like, "Yeah, I'm running with that." I was like, "Word?" Like, it was just funny because I was like, I didn't think it was something, but it was funny. Like, it was entertaining to see on TV. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah. Man, I love hearing the stories about Jay and stuff, man. I know. Hardy and I, we're doing the show, podcast tomorrow, or whatever. I told him like I was like, man, I didn't know him that well. I was just from backstage. Hey, how you doing? I
Yeah.
know he came to the workhorse shows and stuff, but yeah, I was like, man, you gotta get Hardy and stuff. And then yeah, Hardy was like, yeah, come on. He's like, yeah, Hardy got more stories than that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hardy got stories from when they were young. I met Jay in 2007. I got lucky with that, bro. Like we were, like I said, I did backyard wrestling, and in the process of that, a guy, I'm not going to say his name, had DCW's ring, and we had that in our garage. And whenever Jay and Mark were in town, they were like, "Hey, can we use the ring? We'll use the training." And then from there, it became a friendship because Mark would hit us up. I had the same therapist, physical therapist as Mark at the time. I would see Jay all the time, end up talking. We see him in the ring, or that's just how it was. Or like not recently, like the past couple of years, it was like I would see Jay almost twice a week at least, in and out of the gym, talking at the gym. You know what I'm saying? And like that's how we just became good friends. Like it was just like over time, he met my mom and came over. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, man, you can definitely see that tree, man. The Briscoes had on, man. Like you, Banks, Ty also, man. Everybody they train, man. Kicks ass in that ring. They go in there and put in that work, and do the thing, man. There, no better playing around in there.
If you mentioned that, like that's how I actually met Ty, and that's how I met Trey. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have met them, and we've been friends since then. You know?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Jay, yeah, he had he like Delaware wrestling, man, just everywhere. Like he talked Hardy into starting 1CW up again, and if he never did that, the Hardy, I never would have met Hardy. Like, oh man, he would never been like, hey, you want, come out, give me a chance, put ring security, ref, all that good, ring announce, all that good stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man.
he's done a lot of stuff for that, man. I gotta be thankful for that.
Oh hell yeah, man. Well, it sucks so bad. Like it just broke my heart when I got that news, man. I mean, I know it hurt everybody, but I know it hurt the family. But I mean, like it just sucks. Like it sucks, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, but I did see some good news of that though. But his girls are they're pulling
Oh,
through and they're
well,
getting better. I know that I heard the one. I think she's got feeling again. No, I guess she's gonna start trying to walk again or whatever soon. So
yeah,
that's good.
man. Prayers work, bro. Prayers definitely work, and I know that's what he would want everybody to be worried about the girl. Like, and that is good. Like she's got feeling. That's what I was worried about. That whole man, like those days after after we got all that, I was just like, man, I want to know what's going on with the girls. The update. You know, it was
Hmm.
just like mine. You know, you're just wondering, you're just waiting and praying and hoping for the best.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was like, man, I was hoping because I was read on the news the other day. It was she regained feeling, from her waist to her knees and stuff and all, and then she was having tingling in her feet. I was like, oh yeah, sweet man, that's a good sign right there. So hopefully the next couple days, be like, yeah, I can feel, my feet, legs, all that, and then hopefully start walking
Yeah,
again. So
man.
yeah, man, I was
That,
happy to hear about all that, man. I was like, thank you. Yeah, it's one of them good things, man. Now I want to switch it up a little bit, man. We were, getting a little somber right there. So, man,
oh,
you were saying earlier, man, you're a fan of, scary movies and stuff, man. Jason, like Jason's my guy too, man. He's like my favorite, one of my favorites. So, man, have you heard any the rumors about they're doing the new Jason movie? Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't heard the rumor. See, every time I hear a rumor about a Jason movie, it ends up being like it either gets scrapped or like it's some BS, you know? So
Hmm.
no, I haven't heard it. You have to fill me in there, buddy.
Yeah, see, I've heard that they kind of like settled that lawsuit they were doing, and they're like writing a script or trying to get something in the works. Maybe start filming next year or something or later this year. So, all right, that's pretty cool. That'd be cool to see, man. I admit because we ain't had one since Sam Winchester, folded.
Yeah, I was like, I was so mad when we just got that 2009 when I was like, yo, that or was it yeah, 07 or
Yeah,
2009. Yeah,
yeah.
that joint was off the chain. I liked it, and so I was like, why are we not running with this?
Hmm.
And,
Yeah. Yeah,
Hollywood,
the
man.
first 20 minutes of that movie, man, I remember, man, that was like, holy shit. Like, man, that's how you do a Friday the 13th movie right there, man. I was like, wow.
I was like, holy, yeah,
Now, have you seen any good scary movies lately, man? Like I've seen a couple of them. I watched that Smile one. That one kind of creeped me out, man. Where the girl, she was doing all the, oh man, and Barbarian and stuff. I seen that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta watch Barbarian. I gotta watch that. I definitely gotta watch that because I asked you about it. I gotta watch that and that Evil Dead trailer. Dog,
Ooh.
whoa! I'm ready for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm ready to see some Evil Dead too, man. I was mad that they canceled Ash versus Evil Dead. It was like 3 seasons or whatever, man. I was liking that show too, man. I was like,
Oh
dang.
man, yeah, I don't know why they canceled it. Always cancel something good when stuff getting good.
Yeah, I know, man. I was like, damn. All right, man. All right. Yeah, but I seen that. Yeah, the trailer for that and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for that, man. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see where they go with that. Hopefully, they do a couple more movies with that, man.
I know it. And then
So
what's
I
the
do
other
gotta
one?
ask, man.
Hello.
He
My
does that
bad.
sometimes. He'll be back.
Yeah, my
Oh,
internet went out. My internet went out, man.
yeah, okay, I got you, got
Yeah, man. So, man, you seen any good animes lately? My brother's trying to get me to watch Tokyo Ghoul. I haven't seen it yet. He tells me it's real good. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
I was told my girl was trying to get me to watch that. I gotta watch that, but I'm still like I'm hooked on My Hero Academia right now. Like I don't even
Ooh,
wait
okay.
for it to go in English. I'll sit there and watch it in Japanese and be locked in. Like
Mm.
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah, I watch the animes too, man. Like Dragon Ball Z. I remember my brother used to watch him when we were younger, when he was younger and stuff. And man, they got
That's
so many
OG.
episodes and all that. I get lost and stuff. I'm like, damn.
Man, that's not bad. One Piece is the one I was gonna take me a long time to catch up. There's so many episodes, so many.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My brother, he does the what's it? It's Crunchyroll, right? That's the app with the all the anime.
Yeah, that and Funimation.
He's on Crunchyroll, all the time, man. He'll just put that on background music, man. Just anime all day.
Yeah.
Cause I remember when I first saw anime, it was that movie Akira. It was when I was in school. I remember some kid was telling us about it. We were like, yeah, right. There ain't no cartoon that violent. No, no, no. He was like, oh yeah, there is. He brought the tape to school. See, this is back in the day, for the younger kids watching. We had this thing of VHS tape. So he brought that in, and sat in during recess and watched it. And we were like, oh man, yeah, this is awesome. Like, yeah, what is this, man? Yeah, we need to watch this more. We're like, damn.
Yeah, that stuff was crazy though. Especially
Oh
like
yeah, man.
my first anime technically was like Transformers, but then
Oh
like
yeah,
years
yeah.
later, you know what I mean? I saw Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, yo, what is all this blood? Like it was uncut. I was like, oh snap! Like this is crazy.
Oh yeah, man. The anime, man, it'll get you pumped up and hyped, man. You'll watch it, and you're just like, yo, and then they'll end it. You're like, damn, all right, come on, man. I need to hurry up, like for the new episode or something. Or where can I get that new episode at, man? I need to start binging this stuff.
I need that new. I need that new.
Yep, yep. Yeah, you'd be like Tyrone Biggles, man. You just there. Oh man, I gotta get that. You got any of them new shows? So ask, traveling up and down the coast, man. Do you have any, funny stories that have happened to you, man? Like, going to the country and stuff, like in Virginia and stuff, man. Maybe you come across a Bigfoot or something like that.
Like that. Man, the word. All right, so it's not. It's funny now, and like now that I look at it, it's funny. But at the time, it wasn't. Last year with the Ohio for Unsanctioned Pro, I just watch the matches and help my boys see with the snack season. And man, we're coming back. I was like, yo, let's beat the snowstorm after the show ended. And I'm like, we're doing good. You know, what I mean, in my SUV. Man, my SUV all of a sudden loses power.
Mm.
I think I don't even know if it was alternator or anything. I just replaced the alternator. Loses power, all that. So we're like, ah man. So luckily his mom had like AAA. Called the tow truck people. They can't come get us in the morning. So then we had to get a hotel. It was the best hotel I've ever been in. It was so awesome, but it just sucked at the same time. But I was
Oh
just like,
man.
it's funny now because we all laugh at it. That's why I always say, excuse my language, fuck Ohio. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Always my thing right now. Because forget Ohio. I've not had any luck with going and coming back to Ohio. Because I even went back to go get the truck. And then it broke down like 3 hours into coming back.
Damn. Damn. Yeah. I
I'm
probably would have left
telling you,
that truck
bro.
on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah. I don't get into detail what happened, but yeah. I don't got it no more. So.
That's right. I would have left it there and put one of the white flags in the thing, man, white rag, and then when they'd be like, man, you all take that thing. Oh man. Oh man, that
I
sucks,
gotta
man.
laugh at it, you know? Like,
Yeah. Now, I do gotta ask, are there any? We were talking about scary movies and stuff and all, but are there any other movies or TV shows that you've seen that are new, man? Because I'm always trying to find something new. Like I watch the same things over and over again, like comfort shows or whatever, man. I'm always trying to,
yeah.
find something new.
Man, I'm really like stuck on anime right now, bro. Like literally, like I watch so people will suggest shows to me for anime, and I'm like, yo, what's something that's like kind of on that level, so that when I watch My Hero, I'm still in that zone of like watching some crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's been I can't remember the one anime about this fire. They're like a firefighting team, but they're always fighting like these fires have spirits in it, and it's crazy. And then uh, and then I started rewatching Bleach again, like
Oh, okay.
crazy. Like, there's so much anime.
That's right. Man, I even I don't even play. I have some like anime type games too, man. I got was it Persona 4 and Persona 5 and stuff like Xbox and all that, man. Those games are wild, man. I don't know if you ever game or play them, man, but yeah, they're
I,
crazy, man.
I,
They let you
I
do
definitely
whatever.
gamed it up, but I ain't got the Xbox because it's Sony over here, baby. We seen
Yeah,
PlayStation.
I got Xboxes. My brother and my friends they had it, but I do got PS4. I just ain't got the new stuff yet, man. I've been I was like I just went and got a Switch and was like
Yeah,
I'll
I
wait.
ain't got the five. I ain't got the five. I got the four. Still got the phone.
Yeah, I got a 4 also, man. Yeah. I right now, yeah, I've been playing my Switch. I just been using like my 4, my 1 for like Hulu and Netflix and all that good stuff right now.
But
But yeah, man. Before I pass it on to Remy, man, I do want to say I want to say thank you, very much for coming on the show, chatting with us, man. I definitely had a blast. I wish you and your family, nothing but the positive things to happen for you, your career, everything, your personal life, all that good stuff, man. I wish you, nothing but the best, man.
I appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Tiberius, thanks a lot, for taking time out of your busy schedule to, shoot the breeze about wrestling with us. We really and truly appreciate it. And, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you continuing, progressing with your wrestling career and so on. I hope you make all your goals, get to wrestle all the people you want to wrestle and so on, and hopefully eventually get signed to, WB or AEW or, Impact, or even get a chance to wrestle abroad. I always say that, like, if, I always said if I was ever a wrestler and I didn't get signed by AEW, WB or Impact yet, I'm going abroad, like, because that's an experience within itself right there, and I'd recommend that to anybody that's willing to travel. Before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find a way next appearances, purchase Tiberius Assante merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can always find me on Facebook, Tiberius Assante, Twitter at Tiberius Assante, Instagram, Tiberius Assante, YouTube, Tiberius Assante. I actually have merchandise on a website called Bonfire. I don't think people are familiar with it, but you can look me up on there. Same thing, Tiberius Assante. Pro Wrestling Tees, Tiberius Assante. And I also have a link tree, which has links to all of that, which is Tiberius Assante. So feel free, click on it, check me out, leave comments, let me know.
Awesome. So y'all heard the man. Check out his link tree. Yeah, it has all his links on there. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. Go ahead and give him a follow, support him, and cop some Tiberius Assante merchandise, man. Like, how often can you say you're wearing the merch of an African god? I mean, no sarcasm. How often can you say that? You know what I'm saying? You pull up to your friends, yeah, I'm wearing the merch of an African god. I'm like, yo, That's cool, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know what I'm saying? So definitely check it out. Check out the merch store. Cop some Tiberius Assante merchandise. If you can't make the shows he's on, that's another way you can support him is by copping some merchandise as well too. Trust me, I do it as well too. I don't have my ugly ducklings shirt on or my ricochet shirt from the Indies that I had on yesterday, but trust me, I do it as well too. So I'm not just saying that. But with that being said, it's about time to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. But before I partake in those activities, Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin, and the Bubba Ray to my Devon. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where your next appearance is, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Rob_Base82, Facebook, Rob Base. February, 1CW, we're off for the month or whatever, but we'll be back March 11th or whatever, 1CW, CCW. The only matchup I know of right now is Ranch Hand Carlson versus Ty Awesome for the 1CW Pro Wrestling Championship. And I think it's we're having a ladder match, a chase for the gold or something. And I know Tiberius is going to be there. He's going to be there tearing people up, man. So, but, check back for more. You know what I mean? We'll let you know what other matches are going to be happening.
Awesome. Y'all definitely check out 1CW. They're doing a lot of great things over there in Delaware. But until then, February 4th, I don't know if y'all know, but CCW, the sister promotion, Capital Championship Wrestling, they have a show going on in Westville, New Jersey. And you're going to see a lot of interesting people like, the Renegade Twins. You have Rebecca Scott. She's going to be there too. You got Vita Von Starr, Brittany Blake. You got the Goons of Scenic City, who are another impressive twin tag team. A lot of the great women to see there, and also some newcomers too. You have people like Aisha, who's all the way from Australia, who's going to be making her CCW debut. Imagine that. They have an international talent on that show. Not a lot of women's promotions. Well, there's some that do it, but not a lot of women's promotions this side of the country can say they do that. So definitely head over there February 4th. Honestly speaking, to all my New York people, y'all can make that trip too if you will, if you can. All you gotta do is take a bus to Philadelphia and then take another bus to Westville. The bus from Westville is only the bus to Westville from Philadelphia is only 50 minutes. So you can definitely make that and go out there and see some great wrestling in the state of New Jersey. But if y'all want to follow me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say these days, but who knows? Maybe I'll say something cool one of these days. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. I'm also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue, and I'm also that's it for the socials. But our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're on Spotify, and we also have a Teespring store where we actually sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have tank tops, hoodies, long sleeve shirts, even coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. And we have a new design dropping real soon. It's our Mardi Gras inspired design for all of our Louisianan listeners out there. It's a little something for y'all. I know Kathy's gonna enjoy it. But with that being said, definitely check us out. All proceeds go back into keeping this show afloat. They do not go back into our pockets. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where we have cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with Exodus Prime and also Amira. So definitely just check out our YouTube channel. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society, and once you see that really good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best podcasts, one of the best wrestling podcasts, correction, that a wrestling fan should and could listen to. To those y'all that are going to listen later on when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
We ain't stopping. Season 5. You think they get it by now? Well, with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware. We see it. Everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. And yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for 1CW, and one time for the guide to the promised land, the African bulldog, the African god, Tiberius Assante.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back later on this week with our Royal Rumble predictions episode, and we're going to be having 2 special guests for that. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, though.